Welcome back. Today, we are stepping inside a machine so outrageous, so futuristic, and so unbelievably luxurious. It feels less like a motorhome and more like something stolen from a billionaire's dream in the year 2050. This is the Marchi Mobile Element Palazzo Superior. And trust me, by the end of this video, your idea of luxury on wheels will never be the same again. At first glance, it doesn't even look real. The body is smooth, aggressive, alien-like. The windshield curves around the front like the visor of a fighter jet. The massive panoramic glass creates a face that feels alive, almost intimidating. Everywhere this thing goes, traffic stops. Phones come out. People stare in disbelief. Because nothing else on Earth looks like this. The Element Palazzo Superior wasn't designed to blend in. It was designed to dominate. Inspired by Formula One aerodynamics and high-end yacht styling, this rolling mansion stretches over 44 feet long and looks more like a luxury spacecraft than an RV. And then, the side expands. With the push of a button, hidden sections slide outward. The living space transforms before your eyes. Walls move. Floors expand. Suddenly, this futuristic machine becomes a luxury penthouse apartment on wheels. But that's only the beginning. Step inside, and it feels illegal. The first thing you notice is silence.
Pure silence.
The outside world disappears the second those doors close behind you. Then your eyes adjust, and suddenly you realize you're surrounded by handcrafted luxury worth millions. Polished marble floors. Ambient lighting glowing softly through the cabin. Italian leather everywhere. Gold accents. Custom wood finishes. Massive lounge seating that looks like it belongs inside a 7-star hotel suite. This isn't camping. This is royalty on wheels. Right in the center sits a luxurious lounge area with oversized sofas, massive screens, and panoramic windows that make every road feel cinematic. Whether you're parked beside a mountain range or cruising through Monaco at sunset, every moment feels like a movie scene. And then there's the bedroom. A full master suite hidden inside the rear of the Palazzo Superior. A king-sized bed. Climate-controlled comfort. Mood lighting. Massive storage spaces. It feels less like a vehicle and more like a luxury penthouse floating across the highway. But the bathroom, that's where things become truly insane. A rainfall shower. Marble finishes. Premium fixtures. Heated floors. This machine has a bathroom nicer than most luxury apartments. And somehow, they manage to fit all of it inside a moving vehicle. Then comes the technology. Everything is smart. Everything responds instantly. Touchscreen controls manage lighting, entertainment, climate, security, and even the retractable Sky Lounge. Yes, Sky Lounge. Because the Element Palazzo Superior literally has a rooftop terrace. At the touch of a button, the roof extends upward, revealing a private lounge deck above the vehicle itself. Imagine pulling up beside the ocean, climbing onto your own rooftop VIP lounge, and watching the sunset from the top of a multi-million-dollar land yacht. It sounds ridiculous. Because it is. And that's exactly why the world became obsessed with it. Underneath all this luxury is serious engineering. The Palazzo Superior rides on a powerful truck platform capable of moving this enormous machine with surprising confidence. Its diesel engine produces massive torque, delivering smooth acceleration despite its colossal size. And when this thing starts moving, it feels unreal. You expect something this large to feel slow, clumsy, heavy. But somehow, it glides. The suspension absorbs imperfections like a luxury limousine. The cabin remains calm, composed, almost floating over the road. From the driver's seat, the experience becomes surreal. You sit high above traffic, surrounded by futuristic controls and panoramic visibility. The cockpit feels inspired by aviation design, wrapping around the driver with digital displays and premium finishes. It's commanding, powerful, almost cinematic. And yet, despite all its luxury, this machine has an intimidating presence. Because everyone knows they're looking at something rare. Very rare. The Marchi Mobile Element Palazzo Superior isn't mass-produced like ordinary RVs. Each unit is handcrafted, customized, built for ultra-wealthy clients who want something the world has never seen before. Celebrities, billionaires, royalty. This is the kind of vehicle people buy when luxury yachts and private jets no longer feel exclusive enough. And honestly, can you blame them? Because every inch of this machine screams excess in the most beautiful way possible. The exterior lighting alone looks like something from a sci-fi film. At night, the Palazzo Superior glows with futuristic energy. The LED strips illuminate the massive body while the sleek aerodynamic shape slices through darkness like a moving concept car. It doesn't just arrive somewhere. It makes an entrance. But here's the craziest part. Despite all the luxury, all the technology, all the futuristic design, the element Palazzo Superior was built for freedom. True freedom. Imagine waking up beside a frozen mountain lake one week, then parking along the coast of Italy the next. Imagine carrying your entire luxury lifestyle wherever you go, without sacrificing comfort, privacy, or elegance. No hotels. No airports. No limits. Just the open road and one of the most outrageous vehicles ever created. And when people see it in person, their reactions are priceless. Some stare in confusion. Others stand frozen with their mouths open. Kids point at it like they've just seen a spaceship land on Earth. Even supercar owners stop and look twice. Because deep down, everyone understands they're witnessing something extraordinary. This isn't transportation anymore. It's a statement. A rolling symbol of ambition, power, and imagination pushed to the absolute limit. Of course, owning something this insane comes at a price. The element Palazzo Superior costs millions of dollars depending on customization. And honestly, that number alone makes headlines around the world. But for the people who buy it, price isn't the point. The experience is. The exclusivity is. The feeling of owning something almost nobody else on Earth can have. And maybe that's why the Palazzo Superior became legendary. Not because it's practical. Not because it's affordable. But because it dares to exist. In a world filled with ordinary cars, ordinary homes, and ordinary luxury, the Marchi-mobile element Palazzo Superior decided to become something unforgettable. Something impossible. A futuristic palace built to conquer highways instead of oceans. And the moment you see it, you understand why people can't stop talking about it. Because machines like this remind us that imagination still matters. That engineering can still feel emotional. That luxury can still shock the world. The Marchi-mobile element Palazzo Superior isn't just one of the most luxurious motorhomes ever built. It's proof that the future already exists. And it's rolling down the highway looking like $1 million dream. Welcome back. Today, we are diving into one of the strangest, boldest, and most fascinating machines ever built for the open road. A vehicle so unusual, so ahead of its time, that even decades later, people still stop and stare when it rolls by. This isn't just an RV. It's not just a motorhome. The Revcon Trailblazer was a rolling revolution disguised as a luxury land yacht. And once you understand what made this machine special, you'll never look at road travel the same way again. Because while everyone else was building giant metal boxes on truck frames, Revcon decided to build something different. Something futuristic. Something fearless. And the result was absolutely insane. The first thing you notice about the Revcon Trailblazer is the shape. Low. Wide. Sleek. It doesn't lumber down the highway like a traditional RV. It glides. The aluminum body catches sunlight like an aircraft fuselage, and honestly, that's not an accident. Revcon's founders came from the aerospace world, and you can feel it in every inch of this machine. This thing looked like the future before the future even arrived. At a time when most motorhomes looked clumsy and awkward, the Trailblazer carried an aerodynamic silhouette that felt more spaceship than camper. The smooth sides. The aggressive stance. The wraparound windshield that gave drivers a panoramic command of the road. It looked expensive. Powerful. Elite. And then there was the suspension. This was one of the very first motorhomes to use front-wheel drive. Think about that for a second. While massive RVs were bouncing and swaying like overloaded trucks, the Revcon Trailblazer was engineered for balance and stability. The chassis sat lower to the ground, improving handling and making highway cruising unbelievably smooth. People expected an RV. What they got was a luxury cruiser with attitude. Underneath that futuristic shell lived serious American muscle. Depending on the year and configuration, many Trailblazers carried massive Oldsmobile V8 engines that delivered brutal torque and enough pulling power to haul this beast across deserts, mountains, and endless highways without breaking a sweat. And when that V8 roared to life, you felt it. Not just in your ears. In your chest. The sound was deep, mechanical, alive. A reminder that this machine wasn't built to sit quietly in campgrounds. It was built to conquer distance. Long roads. Empty horizons. Midnight highways stretching into forever. Driving the Revcon Trailblazer was unlike driving anything else on the road. The low center of gravity made it feel shockingly planted for something this large. Drivers described it as smooth, stable, almost hypnotic. Mile after mile disappeared effortlessly beneath its wheels. And that's where the magic really started. Because the Trailblazer wasn't just transportation. It was freedom on a scale most people never experience. Inside, the atmosphere changed completely. You stepped out of the noisy world and entered something warm, private, almost cinematic. Rich wood finishes surrounded you. Plush seating. Spacious layouts. Soft lighting bouncing off polished surfaces. Everything felt intentional. Comfortable. Premium. This wasn't camping. This was first-class travel. Families crossed entire countries inside these machines. Couples disappeared into the wilderness for weeks. Adventurers chased sunsets with everything they needed following behind them like a luxury apartment on wheels. And the interior technology? For its era, it was mind-blowing. Revcon packed these motorhomes with features that made competitors look outdated overnight. Air conditioning systems powerful enough to tame desert heat. Generators. Full kitchens. Sophisticated electrical systems. Advanced storage designs. Even leveling systems that simplified setup at campsites. It wasn't just innovative. It was intelligent. Every square inch had a purpose. Every cabinet. Every control. Every design choice pushed toward one goal, making life on the road feel effortless. And then came the details that truly separated the Trailblazer from everything else. The panoramic windshield transformed every drive into a movie scene. Mountains felt bigger. Storms felt more dramatic. Ocean highways became unforgettable experiences. Drivers weren't staring through tiny windows anymore. They were commanding a rolling observation deck. At night, dashboard lights glowed softly across the cockpit while the V8 hummed beneath the floor. Rain tapped against the aluminum shell. Endless highways stretched ahead beneath moonlight. There was something deeply emotional about it. A sense that the journey itself mattered more than the destination. That's what made the Revcon different. It created moments.
Real moments.
And despite its age today, the Trailblazer still carries an almost mythical reputation among enthusiasts. Because once people understood how advanced this machine really was, it became legendary. Collectors hunt them down. Restoration experts obsess over them. Owners treat them like family heirlooms. Why? Because modern RVs may have more screens, more gadgets, more plastic luxury. But very few have soul. The Revcon Trailblazer had soul in abundance. It represented a fearless era of engineering where designers weren't afraid to take risks. Front-wheel drive in a massive motorhome? Radical. Aircraft-inspired aluminum construction? Expensive. Sleek aerodynamic styling instead of boring box shapes? Almost unheard of. But Revcon did it anyway. And for a moment in automotive history, they built something extraordinary. Even today, when a restored Trailblazer rolls into a campground, people stop what they're doing. Phones come out. Conversations pause. Kids stare through windows. Older travelers smile with nostalgia. Because this machine carries presence. It doesn't blend in. It dominates attention without even trying. And here's the crazy part. Many of these motorhomes are still on the road decades later. Still traveling. Still roaring down highways. Still proving how overbuilt they truly were. That durability became part of the legend. The aluminum body resisted corrosion far better than traditional steel RVs. The engineering held up. The chassis survived years of punishment. Owners realized they weren't just buying a vehicle. They were buying longevity. A machine built with pride. A machine built to last. And maybe that's why the Trailblazer still feels emotional today. Because it represents something we rarely see anymore. A company willing to ignore convention and build something genuinely visionary. Not safe. Not ordinary. Visionary. Every curve of the body screamed ambition. Every mile driven carried a sense of adventure. This wasn't a product designed by committees chasing trends. It was designed by dreamers who believed travel itself should feel exciting. And honestly, they succeeded. Imagine crossing the American Southwest inside one of these machines. Desert heat shimmering across the asphalt. The giant windshield framing red rock canyons like scenes from a movie. The V8 rumbling steadily as endless miles disappear behind you. Sunsets flooding the cabin with orange light while the polished aluminum body glows against the horizon. That wasn't just road tripping. That was cinematic freedom. And perhaps that's why the Revcon Trailblazer refuses to be forgotten. Because it tapped into something deeper than transportation. It tapped into emotion. Wanderlust. Escape. Curiosity. It made people feel alive. Even standing still, the Trailblazer radiates personality. There's confidence in the design. Confidence in the engineering. Confidence in the idea that travel should be unforgettable. Most vehicles age. The Revcon became iconic. And while modern RV manufacturers chase bigger televisions and smarter touchscreens, the Trailblazer reminds us that true greatness comes from character. From daring to be different. From building machines people remember decades later. Machines that become stories. Machines that become legends. The Revcon Trailblazer wasn't perfect. It was bold. Experimental. Sometimes complicated. But that's exactly what made it special. It refused to be ordinary in an industry drowning in sameness. And in doing so, it created one of the most unforgettable motorhomes ever made. A rolling symbol of freedom. A futuristic beast wrapped in aluminum. A luxury cruiser powered by raw American V8 muscle. And proof that sometimes, the craziest ideas become the most legendary. The Revcon Trailblazer didn't just travel across roads. It traveled ahead of its time. Welcome back. Today, we are stepping inside a machine so outrageous, so unbelievably engineered, it barely feels real. This isn't just an RV. It isn't just luxury on wheels. This is the rolling definition of excess. A mansion wrapped in carbon fiber and steel. A vehicle that costs more than most supercar collections combined. And once you see what's hiding inside this beast, you'll understand why the Volkner Performance S has become one of the most jaw-dropping motorhomes ever created. At first glance, it already looks intimidating. Long, sharp. Futuristic. The kind of machine that silently dominates every parking lot it enters. But then something strange happens. People stop talking. Phones come out. Crowds gather. Because this isn't normal wealth. This is another level entirely. The Volkner Performance S doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't need to. Its presence alone is enough. Every line on the exterior feels sculpted with purpose. The body is smooth and aerodynamic, almost like a private jet fused with a luxury yacht. Massive panoramic windows stretch across the sides, reflecting the world around it like black mirrors. LED lighting slices through the darkness with surgical precision. And the closer you get, the more unreal it becomes. Because hidden inside this machine is something nobody expects.
A garage.
Not for luggage. Not for bicycles. For a supercar. Right beneath the living area, the center section opens up like a sci-fi movie scene. Hydraulic systems lower a hidden platform toward the ground, and suddenly, a full-sized exotic car slides out from underneath the motorhome itself. Imagine arriving at a luxury resort, pressing a button, and revealing $1 million sports car from the belly of your RV. That's the kind of insanity we are talking about. And somehow, that's only the beginning. The engineering behind the Volkner Performance S is absolutely staggering. Built on a high-performance chassis designed for extreme long-distance comfort, this machine moves with shocking smoothness despite its massive size. Underneath all that luxury is serious power. A monstrous engine delivers effortless acceleration, pushing this rolling penthouse down highways with quiet confidence. And when you're behind the wheel, it doesn't feel like driving a bus. It feels controlled, refined, precise. The suspension absorbs road imperfections like they don't exist. Wind noise disappears. Vibrations vanish. At highway speeds, passengers can sip coffee in crystal glasses without spilling a drop. It's less like traveling on roads, and more like floating above them. But the real shock happens when those doors open. Because inside the Volkner Performance S, reality changes completely. The interior feels more like a billionaire's penthouse suite than a vehicle. Marble surfaces. Hand-stitched leather. Polished wood finishes. Ambient lighting glowing softly across the cabin. Every inch is handcrafted to perfection. And the space feels endless. Slide-outs expand electronically, transforming the interior into a luxury apartment on demand. One moment you're inside a vehicle. The next, you're standing in a mobile palace larger than many city apartments. The lounge area is breathtaking. Plush designer seating surrounds massive entertainment screens. Hidden speakers create cinematic surround sound. The lighting adjusts automatically depending on mood and time of day. It's calm, elegant, almost surreal. Then there's the kitchen. This isn't some tiny camper setup with cheap appliances. This is a fully equipped gourmet kitchen built for elite living. Premium stone countertops, high-end cooking systems, luxury cabinetry, wine storage, smart refrigeration. Everything feels tailored for someone who refuses compromise. And then you walk toward the bedroom. This is where the Volkner Performance S truly reveals its obsession with comfort. The bed is enormous. Soft ambient lighting surrounds the room like a 5-star hotel suite. There's no sense of being inside a vehicle anymore. No feeling of confinement. Just silence, warmth, and absolute luxury. Large windows allow panoramic views of mountains, oceans, deserts, wherever the road takes you. And yes, the bathroom is equally insane. Rainfall showers, heated flooring, premium materials everywhere. Some configurations even include spa-like finishes that rival luxury apartments in Dubai or Monaco. It's almost impossible to comprehend that all of this is moving down a highway. But what makes the Volkner Performance S so fascinating isn't just luxury. It's freedom. This machine destroys the idea that travel requires sacrifice. Normally, road trips mean cramped seats, noisy hotels, and exhausting journeys. But here, the journey becomes the destination itself. Imagine waking up beside the ocean one morning, then eating dinner in the mountains that same night. Imagine crossing entire countries without ever leaving your personal luxury suite behind.
No airports.
No waiting lines.
No schedules.
Just you, and limitless movement. That feeling is addictive. And then there's the technology. The Volkner Performance S is packed with systems that feel decades ahead of ordinary vehicles. Smart climate controls maintain perfect temperatures automatically. Integrated touch panels control lighting, entertainment, security, and slide-outs with effortless precision. Advanced navigation systems guide this massive machine with incredible accuracy. Cameras surround the exterior, eliminating blind spots. Automated systems monitor water, energy, fuel, and performance in real time. Solar integration and high-capacity battery systems allow extended off-grid living without sacrificing comfort. It's not just luxurious. It's intelligent. Every feature exists to create a seamless experience where technology disappears into the background and only comfort remains. And yet, despite all the sophistication, there's still something deeply emotional about the Volkner Performance S. Because this vehicle represents something most people never truly experience. Absolute independence. The ability to go anywhere, anytime, while carrying your entire world with you.
No boundaries. No limitations.
Just endless roads and complete control over your own lifestyle. That's why the people who buy these machines aren't just purchasing transportation. They're buying freedom at the highest possible level. And the price? It's enough to make most people speechless. Depending on configuration, the Volkner Performance S can cost several $1 million. That places it in the same financial territory as hypercars, mansions, and private jets. But strangely, once you see what this machine offers, the price almost starts to make sense. Because nothing else on Earth combines this level of mobility, luxury, engineering, and exclusivity in quite the same way. Every single unit feels custom-built for someone living beyond ordinary expectations. And that exclusivity matters. You won't see these parked everywhere. Most people will never encounter one in real life, which only adds to the mystery surrounding it. The Volkner Performance S exists in a rare category where transportation becomes art. A moving statement. A symbol that says the owner refuses to compromise between adventure and comfort. But perhaps the most incredible thing about this machine is the feeling it creates in people watching it. Even car enthusiasts become stunned. Supercar owners stare in disbelief. Because deep down, everyone recognizes what this vehicle truly represents. The ultimate dream of the open road. Not roughing it. Not surviving. Thriving. Traveling across continents wrapped in silence, luxury, and power while carrying a hidden supercar beneath your feet. That's not just impressive. That's cinematic. And maybe that's why the Volkner Performance S feels less like a vehicle and more like a glimpse into another world. A world where engineering has no limits. Where luxury follows you everywhere. Where movement itself becomes beautiful. In a time where most vehicles are designed to blend in, this machine refuses to. It stands alone. Bold. Massive. Unforgettable. And once you've seen what the Volkner Performance S can do, ordinary luxury will never look the same again.